Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech. Before we get started today, I've got to tell you that you probably already noticed, but maybe not, that the timer down there at the bottom does not show my typical 25 to 30 minute episode. It's quite a bit shorter. I am running super short on time with a pile of things to do, and I'm like... It's a long story that you don't want to hear, but I don't have time for a full-length episode. I thought about skipping it entirely, and then I thought, no, I can't do that to you guys. I know you want to see some progress, so I'm going to do a quick, we're going to do some base lighting, is what we're going to do today. That's probably what the title says. I don't know, but we're going to do some quick stuff, and then I will come back in the next episode with some amazing new things. As I've said before, lighting is not really my thing. I'm just teasing with this lighting, obviously. This is not anything that we would actually use. We need to get something going in here. So, to start off, actually I'm going to leave that off for right now. We don't need a HUD, right? Of course not. I've got a couple of corner lights just to kind of make some examples here. So I'm going to turn off my lights, and I'm going to show you what these different corner lights do. So this is a default corner light. If you don't change any of the settings, this is what you get. Incredibly useful, right? No. This over here is a corner light with the radius completely maxed out. It's, it's better, a whole lot better, but it's still kind of meh. You need a lot of them to really do much. You can do a little bit more with some other settings and whatnot, but Now, I've also thought about using spotlights. Spotlights have a lot more ability to light up an area, but of course they're directional, and they have a tendency, as we've seen back in the stump, there was definitely some issues with them, and there's a limit to how many of those you can have before you start having issues with performance. So you don't want to go too crazy on those. Now, there is another option, and that option is today's mod of the day. That's right. We haven't had one of these in a long time. I think halfway through the last season, but I'm happy to have it back, and today we've got a good one. Today is Extreme Lights by somebody. I always do that. Look up at the top of the screen. I'll have the whole bits of information up there. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's turn these two guys off, and here you go. Okay, it might be a little bit overkill, and we can change that. So we can actually bring that down quite a bit. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I want this one over here. So I've got this extreme light maxed out at 200 meter radius, and we can bring that way down. You can see the tunnel over there. Actually, let's step over so we can see that tunnel. If we drop the radius, you can see it actually moving back through the tunnel. So we can really decide how much we want to get this light. Also, we can drop this intensity. So if we drop the intensity, we can get kind of a more medium light in a larger area. And then there's always the fall off, which doesn't really do much near the center. You can see at the very end of that tunnel over there, some change, but not a lot. So we'll just leave that at default. I'm going to fiddle around with some of this, and let's see what we can do. Also, when it comes to lighting, a lot of people, suggested that this might be a little too dark for the interior. So let's go grab a better color, and I was thinking this color off the old MBT would be pretty good for internal. It's still kind of, a grayish, which I like gray. I'm sorry. I realize that it's not everybody's favorite color, but Shift P, we'll grab that. And let's head back up and make some changes. I'm going to keep the darker color here, but up inside, starting right about here, I think, well, maybe this platform as well. Let's do a shift click And we'll figure out where the difference is. But yeah, that's definitely a lot lighter. It's not a huge difference. Maybe I need to up the intensity just a bit on this extreme light. Or maybe it would be better off if I bring the radius down to, let's do 50. That seems somewhat reasonable. That is definitely a better color. I am happy with that color. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this extreme light. Oh, and turn on my headlights here. And let's put in a couple, because I want multiple lights too. If you've done any photography, you'll know that having all of your light from a single source is really not your best bet. Let's see. I think these are the extreme lights, and these are supposed to cost more, but for some reason I'm not getting the increased cost. I don't know why that is, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm thinking if I do one there, and then that's 1, 2, 3 away from this center area. So let's get ourselves some more roof. We'll stick that one there. And I'm thinking that because of what these lights do, that right there should cover this whole area once I configure them. So go find these extreme corner lights. And we'll set the radius to like 50 meters. Oh, that's too much. Let's try 20. Let's also just go ahead and make them the same. 20. Let's see how that looks. There. Wow. That is exactly what I want. That looks beautiful. See, yeah, with more than one source of light, we're getting a lot less harsh look. And that's only at 20 meters, which is a tenth of what these are capable of. However, it's double what the regular ones do. So I think that's reasonable. That's very reasonable. All right. And then I also want to have lights down the tunnels and that kind of thing. Kind of thinking, I'm walking around with grav boots, and every once in a while I run too fast or something. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is, but it kind of like throws me off and I lose control. It's kind of weird. I could light up these tunnels. Oh, there you go. With spotlights. And I think that might be a more reasonable way to do that. Yeah. That's exactly what I want. We can't have it there because that's where the roof is. When we build the roof out to match up there, then it'll be a little bit better. That does give me an idea. Anyway, Extreme Lights also has a spotlight variety. So if I do Extreme, there's this one right here. Have obviously more radius than a regular spotlight. I don't know what it is though. Oops. We'll check out this spotlight, and that has a 160 meter range, which is why I used spotlights for a lot of my lighting. But they create this one directional harsh lighting that's not quite what I'm looking for. So anyway, just want to get this roof on and make this look a little more like a room and less like a platform. Oh, by the way, I should probably answer some questions that I've seen a lot in the comments, because I know that not everybody reads the comments. I mean, very few people read all of the comments. I don't even read all of the comments, so you may have missed this one. But a lot of people have been asking or suggesting that I use the rock face as part of my airtightness. And unfortunately, that's not possible. As far as Space Engineers is concerned, all asteroids, all voxels are, they pass air. One way or another, we'll actually have to build walls. Now, That said, there is a way to build walls inside of the rock face. Now, normally you end up stopping right here. Like if I start building on this, it will go slightly inside the wall, but I can't actually place, I can place one here, but I'm not going to be able to place one on the other side of that because I have to be able to see some part of the other block. But there is a trick, and I'll show you what that is. If we do spectator mode, hello me. So I'm in spectator mode. We can actually pass through the rock, and we can still place things. Actually, can we? I know you can in creative mode. I'm not sure if you can not in creative mode. All right, well, that means that we're going to have to go with plan B. Now, I could go into creative mode and fill in the walls so that they would be airtight. And that might be a good idea, but I kind of want to use something else. Let's knock those out. And I'm thinking that the other thing that might work well is to make glass. Here, let's play around right here. All right, that's good enough for here. And I'm thinking, let's do kind of like the tunnels that we have coming up to this floor. So I'm going to just kind of use that same general shape. There we go. So these 2x1 windows, they have this look like they're almost not there. They almost look more like a railing than anything else. All right, there we go. So now, if we were to place a door right here and a door right here, this area that we were in would be completely airtight. Because we've got windows up there, we've got windows over here, etc. But we can still look and see this natural stone. So I was just thinking, there's another possible option. I don't even know if it would work or how well it would work. But if I were to make a shape that didn't actually show, like something like this, and then blueprint it and project it, like when I was making the tunnel, the airstrip underneath the stump, and I projected out the floor. I assume it would work. I don't know why it wouldn't work. We actually could project basically a tunnel that was inside the rock like this. And then we would only see the parts that stick out, like the floor and the ceiling in this case. But we wouldn't see these walls because they would be well within the iron there. Certainly worth a try, but not this episode because, like I said, short amounts of time. Let me know what you think. Should I do the whole window thing? Also, this whole thing could be moved up one, or I can just drill out these little edges. And then it would look like it's not flowing through the windows. Or should I do the invisible tunnel thing? And then if I'm going to do that invisible tunnel thing, I might be able to figure out a way to do this whole floor as, invisibly sealed. That's going to start getting really complicated, but hey, who knows? We could do it. The other option would be to put, at least for this floor, just to put windows across. I like the idea of using windows, honestly. If we take these angled ones, is that the right one? Yeah. If I take these angled ones and I put it like that, not so much that. Hang on, let's see. Let me mock this up so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Igor, finish those up. This is kind of the thing I'm talking about. So we would still be able to see that stone. Oh, good grief. Okay, we'll make sure that those lights are still turned on. So we'd still be able to see the stone, but it would also be sealed in. And if we want, we could actually just slip some lights on the outside here. So if I were to throw, I'll just throw an extreme corner light maybe here. There. Right. Wrong way up. So I'll turn off my lights. We should have some light, right? Oh, that's right. The defaults are not good. Let's just use one of these guys to get in there. 20 meters. Yeah. See, so now we get the lights kind of behind there. Cool, huh? I like it. I think it looks really nice. Tell me what you think. You know I love to read your comments, and I love your ideas. And there's sun coming from somewhere. Oh, look at that. The sun is coming right through there. That's cool. Hello, sun. That's neat. Okay. That's almost like a time of day indicator. That's neat. That's really impressive. That's a cool thumbnail. So once again, sorry that this has been such a short episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear your feedback on the lighting, the structure that I've kind of set out there. Tell me which of these two ideas you like. The invisible tunnels that, well, I guess the very visible tunnels, or this one over here where we just are looking through the glass. And I think if I did do this, I would do it very similarly to this, where I would actually drill out this flowing bit on the bottom and throw some lights on the outside so we can see so that we can see that ore really well. But I do like the idea of implementing a natural appearance. So, anyway, as always, if you liked the episode, make sure and hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, I'll see you next time on Epic.